Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabe and I freaking love music. And today we will be reviewing the new Mitski record, Nothing's About to Happen to Me. Mitski returns with her new album called Nothing's About to Happen to Me. And look, I know I mainly review hip hop and R&B on this channel and rate that, but I'm gonna be honest. I love all genres. I don't know if you can tell by the records in the back, but I love all genres. I actually got a Mitski one there. And I love Mitski, so I decided why not for my first to explore outside of just hip hop and R&B to be Mitski. Why not? It's coming out. You know what I'm saying? So singer-songwriter Mitski has been a very prominent name in the alternative slash indie scene since she started garnering attention almost 10 years ago with actually her release of Puberty 2. She's been making music for much longer than that, though, as her first debut album was in 2012 with Lush. So fans really started attaching themselves to Mitski very quickly. One, because she has a very angelic voice and is very digestible without being too agreeable or basic. But also, two, she's also a very phenomenal songwriter, almost like an elite poet that was gifted with like the highest quality of music talent. She writes very deeply emotional, heart yanking, heartbreaking, and even at times humorous lyrics about love, self identity, and wanting more from certain aspects of life. It can get very teary eyed trying to listen to her, especially whenever she has a very passionate and emotional delivery along with it, which is what she typically has. Mitski has been one of my favorite artists ever since I found her and started listening to her more, and definitely a go-to for me whenever I'm kind of tired of hearing hip hop or R&B and I just want to like slow things down a little bit. So having her back after almost 3 years is amazing to hear, and I was so excited whenever I first heard it, and I'm just very excited to get into this album. So let's go. Let's go! Nothing's Going to Happen to Me is about a woman's unkempt solitude turning into madness in a haunted house, but one where she acts as both the haunter and the haunted. So it's honestly a very cool concept. Anna Lake is the first track on this album, and it's a real tone setter as Mitski is explaining that she's from a small town where she's made mistakes growing up and stuff of that nature. But she wants to change and she wants to grow, and she feels that she has changed and she feels that she has grown. But when you're from a small town, stuff that you did in your past, no matter how young you were, and no matter how mature or age you are now, is going to stick with you forever. And she wants to move to a bigger city because she feels like she can start over and have like a blank canvas in a way so people can't judge her for past mistakes. And to me, this could also be a metaphor for getting out of relationships where maybe the imprints have already been made in a negative way, and it's just clearly time for two people to move on. And at the end of the track, she clearly gets her confidence back with the instrumental boosted and getting a lot louder and clearer, and her having a way more confident tone towards the end of it. Where's My Phone came out before the album did as a part of the rollout, and it's really a callback to the sound that Mitski used to have and that she was known for when she was first coming up in the music scene. It's a rock track, and Mitski shows having a dependency on her phone because of societal pressure she receives on social media, and it has a really modern version of anxiety attached to it because of this. It's a very hard hitting track, and I'm gonna be honest, I loved it the moment that it came out, even though not everybody did, but I did. The entire track list honestly has Mitski soul searching in a way and exploring more themes of anxiety and trying to find things to help ease that. Like the song Cats, where she mentions she's going through hardship with her partner and she feels lonely and isolated, but she finds companionship in animals like cats. Instead of Here is a pretty heavy song where it feels like Mitski has lost the meaning of this current life that she's living, and she really just wants to give up, and it's kind of similar topically to the opener in a lake, and she even alludes to maybe even being ready for death as she feels like she has nothing left to live for in this life. Rules is very interesting, where she goes over rules that she has set for herself, which are five. The first one being to go over to her lover's house and be dressed like his best idea. Two is her lover will be gentle. Three is her lover will ruin her. Four is she's nobody's anymore. And five, she will be alone for a while. This feels more like whoever this other person is and whoever her lover is the one setting these rules or boundaries. Or even that these might be unwritten rules in a constant cycle with this current relationship or entanglement she's going through with this person. And I think she even alludes at the end of this track that it's kind of ever growing as she counts up to as high as 11 rules. That white cat seems like it might be about having dependency on a person, but in this example, cats. Because the cats have taken over her home, but she can't put her foot down to get them out because the cats take care of things like bugs or birds or other wild animals that come around her property. So the alternative of her not having them is worse than her having them. So she becomes a stranger in her own home. Dead Women really stood out to me a lot on this track list as Mitski explores how women within our society have to be perfect with no blemishes and aren't allowed to have past experiences or be trauma induced and aren't given a pass to act differently than what the picture perfect woman of our society is supposed to be or act like. And it seems like she might even envy the dead women because in our society, that's really the only time women get grace or praise. But even in her last verse, she goes over how even dead women are taken advantage of for their assets and they steal from her in her death. Just a very heavy song that is even sonically haunting to match the writing on this one. The track list wraps up with Lightning, which wraps up this album perfectly, in my opinion, where Mitski accepts death is imminent and she hopes for a new perspective in the afterlife filled with hope and life that she was very void from in this universe. This album is just so good from the writing to her amazing voice and even sonically. She blends sounds from like her last album, The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We, which is kind of country, folksy kind of sounds, to her past work, which is like, you know, the distorted guitars and very dark, horrifying production, which we saw a lot from in like Puberty 2 or even like Bury Me at Makeout Creek. I absolutely love this album and the experience and thought provoking lyricism and writing all over it. I really do think this is the best Mitski album we've had in a while, which is crazy because the land is inhospitable and so are we, which was her last album in 2023. I really liked and I thought was one of her better ones. I think this one is better than that one and a lot of her other records as well. This one is amazing. And for that reason, I will be giving this album an 8.8 out of 10. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe, hit like, turn on the bell notifications. Let me know what you guys thought about this one. Let me know what you thought about the review. Let me know if you disagree. Um, just know this is my opinion. So if you do disagree, don't hate me for it. Just my opinion. If you like it more than I do, go enjoy it more than I do. If you hate it more than I do, go hate it more than I do. But yeah, this one was great. I highly recommend it to anybody out there. And yeah, go do all those other things that those YouTubers tell you to do. Subscribe and all that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.